how's it going out there today, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Cash, and this is a review of my Peterbilt truck I'm sitting in. So I've had this truck for about 5, almost 6 months, so we're going to call this a 6-month review. Yes, sir. A lot of people keep asking me, how's it going? How's the truck doing? All that. So I figured, hey, why not just make a quick little video here? We'll go over it, and then at the end, I will compare it with my Freightliner that I had, and all things considered type of video. So with this Peterbilt truck, I got some pros, I got some cons, um, you know, and we'll go over all that. So if you're interested in that, smash the like button for me. Think about becoming a subscriber. Why not? This is a 2020 Peterbilt with the PACCAR engine, PACCAR transmission, PACCAR rear ends. Okay. A little bit about the specs real quick just to go over it. MX-13 engine, PACCAR 12 transmission. I forgot what that's called, like something, I can't remember. But anyway, it's got the 12 speed, the one's got the little knob on the handle here, and 279 rears out back. 279. Transmission is a overdrive transmission. It's got 11 speeds with an overdrive. 11th gear is direct drive. So when you're running in 11th gear, you're direct driving, and if you want to speed up and get on down that road, you got an overdrive. All right. So that's kind of the broad specs of the truck. Okay. If you don't know, it's a Magnum truck. If you guys know Magnum out of Fargo, North Dakota, that's what fleet it came out of. I bought this truck at 437,000 miles on it. And if you want to know more about the truck, go back and watch the other video. I've got a whole playlist for this truck, so you can watch that playlist and learn more about this truck if you want to. So let's get into it. Pros and cons. The pro is it rides really nice. It rides really good. The seat is held up really good. I like that. The ride quality is really nice. I do like the ride of this truck. A few more of the pros. I like how the interior is set up. It's got the bunks are like a little wider, I guess, because the twin mattress kind of slides around in it a little bit, so you could get like a little bit wider mattress if you could find one that size. But it creates more space. The top bunk's really big, so I can stack a lot of stuff up there. It is a little bit bigger sleeper than my Freightliner, so does provide a little bit more room. Now, one thing that I like as well about this truck is just the layout of the dash. Okay, and I like that it's got the buttons on the steering wheel. I've got all my radio controls on here, and so if I'm listening to music on YouTube through the Bluetooth, I don't have to hit nothing to change the song. I can just boom, hit a button. Okay. On this side of the steering wheel is my cruise control setup. Okay. The Jake brake is on the knob. I like that. Very similar to the Freightliner setup. I think most trucks now have got that kind of universalized to have the Jake brake system on the knob. Overall, I'm really liking this truck so far. Gets good fuel economy. I'm in the 8 mile per gallon range. The first quarter IFTA, which is the first quarter of the year, was the first IFTA report I had on it. It was 7.4 miles per gallon. I'm okay with that because it's going to come up a lot. I had mechanical issues. I had a couple weeks where it was like it didn't get above freezing where I was operating up in the upper Midwest. So I know the fuel economy was down on that IFTA because of about a 3-week period. I had a 3-week period where I was literally in the sixes for 3 weeks. Broke my baby heart. I'm telling you right now. So I had to stop the truck. I had to get the thermostats done. Now let's talk about the things I've had done to this truck since I bought it. Mechanically, I've had 2 issues, and they were both covered under the warranty I got when I bought this truck. It has a Peterbilt red oval warranty to 700,000 miles. It's like 2 years up to 700,000. So I should have the truck paid off by then. So that's kind of one of those things, like I timed it that way where, about the time the warranty ends, I will have it paid off. And then I can ask myself, do I want to run it a year with no truck payment, or do I want to cycle it back into the system and get a newer version with a warranty again? Those are, I got a year and a half to think about those things. Okay. So the mechanical things I had done, I had a pressure, uh, fuel pressure valve, I think it was called. I can't remember now. It's been a couple months ago. Basically, it was part of the high pressure fuel rail system that held the pressure, so the pressure couldn't, like, it built the pressure, but the pressure couldn't relieve. So they had to replace that. Now that was under warranty, but that was about $1,000 fix. I always get the receipt, even if it's under warranty. So that looked like it was about $1,000 repair. And then the other thing I had done, the thing that cost me the fuel economy, was the thermostats. So if you've got a PACCAR, if you're getting close to 500,000 miles, my mechanic told me you should get those thermostats replaced if they're original PACCAR thermostats, because they have about a 500,000-mile life on those. And um, so mine had kind of went out right as I left the house. So I stayed out for 2 weeks with them out, and then got back home, did a couple short runs around the house, ended up running about 3 weeks with those thermostats out. And I kind of figured, am I better off losing the fuel economy versus not working when I have good paying freight? So, you got to weigh that out. So then when, I had a chance to go home, I just took the truck over. They changed out the thermostats. That was under warranty as well with the Red Oval package I had. And that that was about a $1,600 job at Peterbilt. So those are my two mechanical things. I did switch the truck over to super singles out back. The truck came with a set of Michelin recaps, those weird size, like 275/80 Michelin recaps. It came with a full matching set of those on them, and they were in pretty good shape. But I had an opportunity. Number one, I'm not a fan of recaps. I don't like them on the trailer. I don't like them on the truck. Personally, I hate recaps. I just hate them. Don't like them. So, with that being said, um, I changed those out for a set of super singles. I did a video on that. If you didn't see that, you can go watch that. And basically, what that is, I had an opportunity to, with trade of the recaps, I got a set of rims gave to me, and then I paid $1,200 for the tires. Basically, a set of used super singles, and I gave them my recaps and my single rims, and they gave me that, and I paid $1,200 for the exchange. The way I look at that is, if you're getting a set of tires changed out and put back on, they're going to charge you $30 or $40 per position just to change them and put other ones back on. So I maybe gave $1,000 for the exchange. The way I look at it, because you got to pay to move tires around. So I was happy with that. I got my super singles back. I like super singles. Say what you will about that. You're not going to change my mind. I'm not here to change your mind. You run whatever tires you like. If those had been Michelin virgin tires on there, I would have not changed them out. It's just I had an opportunity to switch to super singles for a good price, so I went for it. But I have nothing against duals. I mean, I just don't want the recaps was my main thing. Now, let's talk about a few of the cons of this truck. And this one is a huge one. I damn near sold this truck over this, but I've kind of learned to live with it. And that is the Bendix cruise control. Yeah. If you guys know, you know. That thing will beep and beep and beep and beep, and your whole day will be consumed by beeps until you learn to just deal with it. Okay. So people told me, oh, well, cover up the front radar. Do this, unplug this, do that. None of that works. Okay. They have got the Bendix system, the radar that, has the little thing up here. Like, it's so integrated into this truck. It ain't like my Freightliner where they just cut a hole in the dash and put a Bendix system in there. It's literally molded into the plastic overhead. Like, that's how integrated the Bendix is. It's on my dash. It's in my instrument cluster, the Bendix. Okay. I tried covering up the radar. You cover up that radar, you got no cruise control. You try unhooking it inside the dash, you got no cruise control. Okay. There are ways to make it less annoying. I'm not going to talk about them here because, you do you. I did me. But there are certain ways that you can make that Bendix less annoying. Okay. You can't completely remove the speaker for it, though, because, see, they got you again. They have thought this through. Those people at Bendix, I swear to God, they might be Satan. Satan might be the head CEO of Bendix. What they do is they wire that little beepy speaker in to your air warning system, your low air pressure warning system. So you can't get rid of that speaker, because that was my first thought. I'm getting rid of that speaker. Yeah, I got rid of the speaker. I lost my low warning buzzer. That's the same speaker. They got us. Okay. Now, I will be honest with you. After running the Bendix for a little while, I think I'm maybe a little bit more aware of my following distance. But here's the thing: in almost 20 years of driving, I never rear-ended anyone without it. So I think I'm okay. I think I'm cool, with it. But um, that is the biggest downfall of these trucks. Okay, if you're going to look at a Peterbilt and it's got a Bendix box up here on the overhead, and you can see, it's molded into the plastic, it's made to be there. Man, that would have me second guessing that purchase. It really would, because there's certain cities you go through, you cannot create more following distance. Every time you open up a gap, there's a car. You open up a gap, there's a car. And eventually you would have to go 5 miles an hour and just let everybody blow past you for that thing to not beep. You know, like, it's unreasonable. There should be a way where it's like city mode. Or, what I would do if I was Bendix? I would make it where it didn't beep under 20 miles an hour. If we're going 20 miles an hour, why do I need you to beep at me for following distance? Right? I mean, the truck will stop pretty quick at 20 miles an hour. So that would be my fix to that. Now, that's the big one. There's a few other small ones in here. The rattling of the steering wheel column is annoying as hell. I wish they would do like Freightliner, and I'll compare that more later on in the video. But yeah, that thing rattles like hell. I fixed it, but it's still annoying to have to fix it. Other than that, I like the layout of the truck. The only other beef I have with this truck is the infotainment system. I mean, did Fred Flintstone design this sumbitch? Like, it is so out of date for a 2020 truck. I mean, I thought did we not have touch screens figured out in 2020? I can't think back that far because, my memory's gone. But, um, you know, I thought we had that figured out. You literally push a button on this sumbitch and it might go immediately. It might wait 3 seconds. You push it, don't do nothing. You push it again. Oh, it goes it's like you pushed it twice. It's like, oh, you bastard. And it'll keep saying, launcher not responding. And you got to hit, start over. And it'll start over and it'll work fine. And the reason that annoys me is because, okay, I have gauges here. I've got coolant, DEF, and fuel on one side. And then on the other side, the gauges are oil pressure and air. Okay, primary air, secondary air. Now, in this infotainment system, I have other digital gauges built into that. Okay, um, emissions control system gauge. Um, my scale for my truck is built into that. So sometimes it's annoying when that thing doesn't work, because it's like, there's things in there I need to work. Okay, that is annoying. Now, that's it for this truck. I love this truck. I'm glad I made the choice I made. It's been doing great for me. It's had a few little quirks here and there, but mostly it's been just, you know, pretty good. Pretty good, So now let me compare it to my Freightliner a little bit. Okay. Now, my Freightliner, full disclosure, that was a 2016 Cascadia Evolution. This is a Peterbilt 579 Epic. Okay, so they were both the high end of their model for fuel economy and efficiency. That's why I like this truck, because it's a damn efficient truck. Now, comparing it to the Freightliner, a few things that are different that I wish I had back from the Freightliner, and things I wish to not have back. The things I appreciate about this truck. The number one thing I wish I had back from the Freightliner, steering column. Okay. I like the steering wheel of the Peterbilt better. It's not as foamy and as movie, so like when you're backing in somewhere, when you do the hand slide, because I don't have the knob, you know what I mean? I'm not a knobber. I'm a palmer. I just hit it with the palm. And the Freightliner, as it got older, it was like that thing was coming apart as I was turning. I would have like black crusty stuff on my hand. This is more like a plastic leather wrapped type steering wheel. I like that. I like them having the radio buttons on the steering wheel as well. Freightliner didn't have that. But this plastic molded steering column on this Peterbilt, they should do it like the Freightliner. They should have it vinyl wrapped. That way it doesn't rattle. Okay. And then the adjustability of the Freightliner. I loved the thing where you put your foot on there, kind of like I think Volvo had that for years. And then Freightliner got it where you put your foot like on that little peg at the bottom of the steering column, and then you can adjust that thing 7 ways to Sunday. The Peterbilt, not so much. It's got a little lever you drop down, and then you can kind of pull it out, and you can pull it up, and you can pull it towards you, but you can't really tilt it up any. So in its straight like driving position, it's kind of there. I'd rather have the Freightliner steering column, basically. Um, both trucks have disc brakes on them. I'm pretty much set on disc brakes. I wouldn't turn down a truck because it had drum brakes on it, but if I'm buying a truck with my money, I want them disc brakes, boys. Woo, stopping on them dimes, I'm telling you right now. Stopping on a dime and stopping for a dime. Disc brakes. That ought to be the slogan. But yeah, I like having the disc brakes. A lot of this truck I have set up like the other one, it's just what it is. One thing that I really like about the Peterbilt over the Freightliner is when I clean the windshield or it's raining and I've cleared a windshield, before, the windows and the mirrors both were just covered in rain at the Freightliner. Peterbilt got that little ridge around. Number one, the mirror is set farther forward, so the rain goes in between the mirror and the door. So it's not just coating my mirrors every time. Say I hit 5 million cicada bugs in a day and I want to clean my windshield with my washer fluid. It does not even get on the mirrors or the windows of the Peterbilt. It would ruin the Freightliner. I'd have to get out and clean them with Windex and a paper towel. And this Peterbilt has like a little thing around the window here that reflects the water that comes off the A-pillar in the windshield and directs it up and down the side of the top of the window, and then sprays it back that way. So that's a plus. I like that's one of my favorite things about the Peterbilt, because I love a clean windshield. I'm kind of picky about a clean windshield. So I love that. When I first realized that, I was like, oh, that's a game changer. I'm going to go through 50 gallons of washer fluid a year now. I mean, I remember used to in the Freightliner, 1 gallon of washer fluid would last me all summer, because I would just pull over to the truck stop and clean the windshield, because I didn't want to. It's the same difference, because if I sprayed the windshield, I'd have to get out and clean the mirrors and the windows. So I'm a big believer in that. I like that. Um, the seat seems to be a little bit better in the Peterbilt. I don't know. The ride's better, like I said. But the storage in the back's better in the Peterbilt than the Freightliner. The Freightliner had its good qualities too. It was a good little truck. But I tell you, the big one is this truck has an APU. Therefore, just mentally, I think so much higher of this truck because of the APU. I had the generator air conditioner in the Freightliner, and I will tell you right now, if you don't have an APU, go get that. Make that happen. It's so worth it. I preach about it so much. But having the APU is just a game changer. I mean, I can freeze this thing out on the hottest of days, and I can sleep in the middle of the day, with no hassle, just pushing buttons. So I think that's one of the main reasons I like this truck so much. It really is. So I think in the future, I'm going to have to be a stickler on disc brakes and APU. That's going to be like two things I'm going to have. As far as the operating of this truck, The cruise control is different than the Freightliner, than the Peterbilts. And what is different about it is you can have your Jake brake on with cruise control in the Peterbilt. And when you start down a hill, when you get like 5 mile an hour over, it'll start jaking you, slowing you down. Whereas the Freightliner, you can't have, the way mine was set up, you couldn't have the Jake brake on and the cruise control on. Now, once you started down the hill, the Freightliner would, if Jake brake on or not, would start slowing you down at like 5 mile an hour over. Where this one will not. If the Jake brake's not on, you will just keep on coasting. So, I'm not sure which is better. There's good and bad of both of that because, I like that thing on the Freightliner where if you're going down a hill and you pull your Jake brake down into Jake brake 2 and then push it back to Jake brake 1, the Freightliner will hold you right at the speed your cruise is set at. This one does not. I've tried all the configurations of making it do it. If you know a way to do it, let me know. I'm not really not mad about going 5 mile an hour over because I'm not a 70, 75 mile an hour runner. I have been running faster here lately on a few loads just so I can get them done with the time constraints. I've had some 70 mile an hour nights. I'm not a big fan of that. I do like this truck for that, though. With that overdrive, this truck runs at 70, a lot lower RPM than the Freightliner did. The Freightliner was 65 and under. It was a direct drive truck. It had a 241 rear ends and a direct drive in 12th gear. So I like this truck more for that higher speed running. But I like the Freightliner more for like the 60 to 62 mile an hour running. That was a great speed for the Freightliner. It was not for this truck. This truck is right at dropping down to 11th gear at that speed. And so you're almost too low of an RPM for 12th gear, but you're too high of an RPM to be 11th gear. So this truck at 65 mile an hour runs 1200 RPM. So 65 is kind of where I'm at with this. If I'm not mistaken, Magnum is governed at 65 miles an hour. So that's kind of what the truck is set up to run, 65. So that's what I run. It's what I've always run. Like, if traffic's real heavy, I might even drop it back to 62. With this truck, I might drop it back to 64, 63, but I really don't want to, unless it's good flat ground, I don't want to go to 61 or 2 because it's too much of a drag. It just constantly wants to switch down to direct drive, and then we're running like 1500 RPM, so it is what it is. Overall, I would recommend either truck, a 2016 Freightliner or a 2020 Peterbilt so far. Now, this is just a 6-month review, so take it with a grain of salt. If you're planning on owning a truck for 3 or 4 years, a lot can happen in that time. So this is just the 6-month review, but that's it, guys. If I forgot anything you want to know about, leave it down in the comments. I appreciate it very much. Smash that like button if you made it this far. Subscribe. Come join me for a live show. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Take care of each other out there. And remember, people are more important than trucking. Hi, I want to talk to you real quick about the ES Advantage card. Do you need discounts at major truck stop chains? They got them. Do you need discount on shop rates at TA and Love's? They got them. Tire discounts. They even got health insurance now. Click the link down below. Easy application, no credit check. Sign up. They give you a call back. They'll take all your information and you'll be in the network.